Hustlers was directed by Lorraine Scafaria and stars a bunch of actresses, some very good ones: Constance Wu, Jennifer Lopez, Keke Palmer, Lily Reinhart, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. And this is the story of an actual and inspired scam that took place in a few years ago, where after the crash on Wall Street, a few strippers who were working at this club decided to take matters into their own hands because they weren't making a lot of money, and decided to scam a lot of very famous rich people, or just rich people in general, and try and make some money off of it and try and improve their lives to some interesting consequences. That's about the brief plot of this film. It's based on an article that was written about the entire incident, and this film was something I wasn't exactly pumped out of my mind to see this film. I know this film started getting a really big marketing boost only really recently, and sometimes that kind of thing worries me, because I think sometimes whenever a film is so late in the game, given any attention, sometimes that could always be like an underdog victory, or it could be sometimes because the studio has absolutely no faith in it. That has also happened before. I went and saw this film last night. I had a screening invite to it, so I figured, why not? I have some time to do it. And I went in. I know a couple of friends who saw it, and I kind of blocked out opinions about this film. And overall, I saw this as a fun movie. It's not a great film, which is something that did disappoint me, but I'll get into that later. But I thought this film was solid enough. There's a lot of great aspects to it. The performances in general are really great. I thought Constance Wu was really good in the film, and so are the other supporting characters. And I thought they did a really good job. There was some really great scenes, some really emotionally effective scenes. And what I really liked about the character Destiny, played by Constance Wu, is there was a lot of surprising depth to her. There's a lot of sequences where you're seeing her life, and for a film that I was expecting it to be a lot of glitz and glamour, the film does have some really powerful moments, and it delivered on them. It delivered on them. The direction for that was really crisp and confident. The cinematography also really great. There's a few sequences with one shots which were just awesome. Really great stuff. Choreography as well, because you understand they're working as strippers in a strip club. There's a few moments which choreography is needed, and they did a really great job with it. But let's address the elephant in the room. I said the acting was great. I forgot to mention the one person, Jennifer Lopez. After the film came out at the Toronto International Film Festival, one word started to go around: Oscar. There's a lot of people who were saying that she might get a Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress Oscar nomination for this movie. And frankly, after watching the film, I kind of have to agree. I think she might actually get it. Her performance here is magnificent. She plays a character named Ramona, who is basically spearheading the entire operation. And her performance in this is so real, half the time I didn't even know I was watching Jennifer Lopez do a character. She really became this character to a T, and she played it perfectly. Every layer of this character, every nuance, she got it just right. There's also some amazing sequences with her, and one fantastic scene with her, which basically, those deserve award recognition. I honestly think she might get at least a Golden Globe nomination for this, even if she doesn't get an Oscar nomination, which I kind of hope she does, because I think she's really good here. She's really, really, really good in this movie. And yes, I do agree with the hype on that one. Also really great in this film overall is the style, the editing. It's all really great. Some nice use of color, some nice use of the palette that is available to them. And yeah, those things work. The film is not perfect though. There are some issues with it, and one of them is the pacing. There are points where the film sort of meanders around. It's not able to keep it consistent. The first 25 minutes in particular have this thing of, like, let's get to the chase. Let's get to the thing about the film that we are really here to see, or we're really here to know. And I wouldn't mind the first 25 minutes. I understand it's setting the stage and everything, no pun intended. But the problem is that a lot of it doesn't quite add up. It's showing off this relationship or friendship that is between Ramona and Destiny for a while, and yes, it is supposed to be effective later on in the film as things get worse for these two characters. But at the same time, I thought that the film could have developed on this a little bit more. There are points of it which do seem, in the very beginning at least, like, all right, this is going on. This has become like a montage sequence. And there is a couple of moments like that throughout the film spread out, which I thought were underdeveloped or kind of unnecessary. Which leads me to another thing. There's a few points of it where you're kind of meandering through even the tone of this film. There's a scene in the movie where there is a montage sequence happening. Everything's all happy and exciting, and one of the characters who this story is being told to, this journalist played by Julia Stiles, she actually says, okay, can we get back to the main story now? And I get that's supposed to be self-referential humor and everything, but at the same time, this is one of those cases where I've seen it happen so much in films now that I really don't need to see it happen anymore. Let's just cut to the part, like let's just get back to it organically. And you still spend a lot of time on a bunch of moments that didn't have to be all together at once. That's just my particular take on that. Yeah, and I thought finally one of the other issues I had was that aside from the two main leads of this film, some characters felt a little underdeveloped. I would have liked to see a little more regarding the other main character, like Keke Palmer. I would have liked to see a little bit more about her. There's not much you get about her character. Also, in the case of Lili Reinhart, her character is supposed to be someone who has been through something terrible. She's been kicked out of her house. She's not really getting along with her siblings. And I thought this film is telling me I want to see it happen, because this film is going for a more hard, raw take on certain events and certain things in their lives, and I think the film could have delivered on that a little bit more. And I think those things kind of prevent it from being a much better film, a much greater film. And I think those things could have been better. But still, it's still a very entertaining and fun film with some really great stuff, especially Jennifer Lopez. Just watch the film for her. She's really, really great in this. I'm gonna give Hustlers a 7 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Look forward to more reviews very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.